3.5 Ks to go. Gap at 1:47, still growing. Still only going one way. No fun and games yet, Sean. And again, look at that speed. It's hard for it to happen. It's almost 60 Ks an hour still.
Yes, well, it's very difficult for anybody to try and, go at a lower here at a number of kilometres out. And it's an interesting one that all these teams are continuing on. Of course, Visma Lisa bike as well. They have Zingler there, so it's playing good for them because they can try and get a stage win here with him, and of course the other fast men as you mentioned, and maybe the team of Ineos Grenadiers, maybe they think as well that they can take the stage win in a sprint here. So it looks like it's going to go possibly down to a sprint, but little gaps appearing at the moment.
Zingler, who moved over the winter to Visma Lisa bike, yet to win a World Tour race. This would be a real step up for him. This is Per Strandhagenes continuing to pull things along at the front. Just behind him, Tobias Foss. Then Eduardo Alfini keeping the pace high. Jorgensen, team leader, sitting down at the back. Just 2.3 Ks to the finish now. The twists and turns on the way in are very interesting, aren't they, Sean?
Yes, there is quite a few, twists and turns, and inside the final kilometre there's a bit of a chicane there, probably with about 600 metres to go, and it's a one, not a one on the race manual, or it be like to see when you're a rider there. You have to get it right here, and with these roads, as we can see, another roundabout here, it's not a nice running at all in these wet, horrible conditions.
One more roundabout to go before we get to the Flamme Rouge. That'll be one to take on towards the right, passage on the left side, and then that one that you said, it's almost like a chicane. Tell you what, I'm glad we haven't got a massive group coming in here, because you and I looked at the menu this morning and it was head in hand straight away. What might happen here?
Yes, and in the conditions we've got, these wet roads, it would not be a nice one for a bunch sprint at all. But again, the way they're going, you can see 50 kilometres per hour as they go into those roundabouts, and as we get to the finish, there's always going to be somebody might try and go for a bit of a longer one, and you're going to come into that chicane there at high speeds.
Time to close those gaps towards the back here, because we're approaching the Flamme Rouge. It's just ahead. Just over 1 kilometre remains in what has been a Paris-Nice stage to remember. Pouring down with rain. We can only just about see it as we've now got to move on the left-hand side. I think Max Schachmann's going to go for it. 1 kilometre to go, and Max Schachmann has taken off. Bob Jungels is now at the game towards the back. Ineos are chasing this move by Schachmann down, though. It's Foss who's on the front trying to do that. Waiting and ready are the riders from all sorts of teams here. I'm looking around, and Pedersen's down in 6th position. 650 metres to go. We're waiting for that chicane. It'll go to the left. It'll dart to the right. Here's the first of those movements. You can see Tarling coming up on the outside. Taking it on the inside there is Pedersen, who's ready. It's Schachmann there in the black. Tarling behind in the red. Then you can see Zingler, who's waiting on the wheel of the Welsh time trial superstar. On the right-hand side, they're going to what will be the final straight now. And at the end of a big, big day in Paris-Nice, it's time to sprint it out for the win and the stage. Schachmann still leading this one out, and now Pedersen will go. This should be his opportunity, but it's one of those atypical sprints because Tarling is there on his wheel. He's trying to get around him. Pedersen's still going for it, but Josh Tarling is trying to get around and beat him at his own game. It's Pedersen there, just about hanging onto the line, and Mess Pedersen had to fight for it all the way. But finally on day 6, in amongst all the chaos, bad weather and big happenings, Mads Pedersen wins a stage at Paris-Nice.